Hello everybody. As you can see, I have snabbed this Lenovo ThinkCenter for 20 bucks, but that's not quite right. It was actually 15 because it was a quarter off. And as you can probably tell from this, I don't know how well you can see it because of the garage door, DVD tray on the side here. Maybe there's something on this side. Ah yes, USB ports and whatnot. So this is an all-in-one desktop. Very, very useful. Like I said, 15 bucks was all this thing cost me. So, cool. It looks like it previously belonged to a salon, both because it says this, and if you look on the back, where is it? Ah, there it is. You'll see there's a property of salon success sticker. Not a place I've ever heard of before. But hey, I'll take their secondhand computer. I'm going to be using it to replace my eMac over here. Not that I don't adore the eMac, I absolutely do. If I didn't, I wouldn't have bothered setting it up over here. But the unfortunate reality is the eMac is just a little too old to really be useful out here. Like, trying to do video, trying to like Google stuff on it is kind of a pain in the ass. Which is why I use this, my little netbook. It's better at Google searching, but like trying to watch a tutorial video or something, or God forbid do anything other than like maybe stream some music on it, it's not happy about it. So I need something new out here, but I don't want it to take a lot of room, because I mean, if you look up here, I have computers. Like if it's an issue of me needing a PC, it's not an issue. I have lots of computers. The problem is I want one that doesn't take a lot of room, because being in the garage, I'm very limited by the amount of space I have. And of course there's a bunch of stuff in here that's not mine either, but you know, that's what happens when you still live at home. So my penultimate goal is to set this up to be my new ultimate garage PC and replace the eMac. Now, this is not going to be a how-to, this is not going to be a tutorial. My goal here is not to teach you guys how to repair this Lenovo. It's more going to be an exploration of me opening it up and kind of figuring out what's in here and, you know, going from there. So, if you want, join me on this adventure. I think it'll be quite interesting. Okay, so I've been putting a lot of thought into how I'm going to film this particular section. So I brought out the tripod, and I'm going to attempt to show off what I'm doing somewhat using the tripod. I don't know how well this is going to work, especially since, as you can see, this is a little too tall for what the tripod can actually see. But since the only thing we're doing right this second is testing to see if it like turns on, I think we'll be okay. Let me... oh jeez. There we go. Had to get the wireless dongle for my keyboard and mouse out of the eMac. After all, if this boy is going to be replacing the eMac, I want to make sure it can at least do as good of a job as it. Okay, got my keyboard and mouse ready. The mouse is powered on. Now, all I'm going to do is plug it in and try to turn it on and see what happens. Since so much of this computer is a question mark right now, I have no idea, you know, like how good a shape this is in, if it's even going to turn on at all. It didn't have any power cable for me to test at Goodwill. And I figured, I'm good enough with PCs, I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, so power has been plugged in. Here we go. Okay, I see green lights. That's a good sign. Oh, we got something. Hey, look at that. Maybe we should take this sticker off. Ooh, they left the hard drive in here. Yo! That's very bad, guys. When you're donating a computer, make sure you remove the hard drive first. Or at least wipe it. If you know how to wipe it, you can just wipe it and leave it in there. If you don't know how to wipe it, then take it out. Which I kind of think they tried to do, because if you look over here on the side, you can see there's like one of those little tabs that are supposed to go on the inside. So I think somebody tried to get in here and wasn't quite successful. But hey, check that out. We got Windows 7 Pro. Man, that is something. Wonder how good of IT this place had. Wonder if they were smart enough to, okay, getting the rest of that off I'm going to have to do later. Okay, it's not a touch screen, because I've read online that this model can be configured to have a touch screen. So I figured, hey, if it has one, cool. So let's see, Control-Delete. Ooh, it was joined to a domain. Okay. RBC ADM. Okay, I wonder if they have a local admin password. Okay. Your account has been disabled. Okay, so no local admin, which is fine. We don't really need a local admin because I'm going to be removing the mechanical hard drive from here anyway. At least I'm assuming it's mechanical. It might be an SSD. But honestly, just the fact that the screen works and it seems to be responding, I'd say this is 15 bucks well spent. Considering like the eBay searches I went through, I'll post some pictures of current bids for this model. They were going for like 100 bucks. So for 15 and it works, heck yeah. Now, one thing I'm going to be doing, if you look in the corner down there, you'll see that i3 sticker. Let me just kind of bring you up to it. I'm going to be putting an i5 in here. It's only compatible with one i7 officially, and the difference in price versus performance for the i5 versus the i7, it doesn't make any sense to get the 7, so I'm just going to stick with the 5. And I'm going to max out the RAM if it's not already maxed out. So here, I'm going to try rebooting it. Oh, wait a minute. I think there's something in the disk drive. Ooh, it's stuck. Okay, I can't pull out the disk drive because of the way they tried to put Humpty Dumpty back together. Okay, and that just put the PC to sleep. Alright, come back. Okay, we're back. Duh, I forgot this was here. Yeah, there's definitely something in that disk drive. I can hear it spinning. So maybe some hairdresser's favorite music CD got trapped in there or something. Who knows? But yeah, it was crazy. We were in Goodwill, and they had like 500 LCD monitors just like scattered about the place. All right, well, really it was like 20 of them, but you know. Ooh, okay. Cancel. Cancel. I want to. Dang it. What key is it for Lenovo? Is it F1? F2? I'm trying to remember what key gets into the BIOS. Unfortunately, my phone's being used to record this, so I can't just Google it real quick. I think it might be F1 or F2. Oh, there we go, I got it. I think it was probably F2. And this screen is horribly fingerprinty, so that's definitely going to need cleaned. Okay, so... Think center, yep. Serial, USB, ATA, trying to set up. Okay, nothing too interesting there. Front button control, CPU setup. Okay. Why do they always disable virtualization? I don't understand. It's also quite nice that they didn't put a BIOS password on here, because if they did, this might make things very, annoying to have to manage. Allow flash into a previous version. Okay. No. Fingerprint setup. Does this thing have a fingerprint scanner? Or is that something that's on the keyboard? Not sure. I did notice up here, though, it's got a built-in webcam, which is kind of cool. Definitely be taking advantage of that. CSM, okay. System summary, there we go. So yep, it's running the i3 right now, which is a dual core. The i5 I'm getting is a quad core. It's a 3rd gen, what is that, Ivy Bridge, Sandy Bridge, something like that. I don't know, I don't remember offhand. 4 gigs of RAM. Again, I'm going to be trying to upgrade that. Ideally, I'd like 16 gigs, but if I can't get 16, then, you know, 8 is fine for what I'm doing out here. But like I said, I'm definitely going to try for it. And yep, just a regular mechanical hard disk. I have a 480 gig SSD coming, or, you know, 512 gig for you full-size fans out there. But we'll have to see what happens exactly with that. But the fact that it turns on makes me very happy and very confident that all the restoration that I'm going to do to this is going to be worth it. And I'm going to check the hard drive in here and see if it has the restore partition, and if it does, I'll dump it and put it up on the Internet Archive. Otherwise, you know, we'll see what happens. But cool. So it definitely turns on, it definitely works. That makes me very happy. Let's start taking it apart and just see what it's like on the inside. Sorry about the weirdly high angle. This was honestly the best that I could figure out for trying to, you know, get a good recording angle. And I'm actually using one of my mom's beach towels, so I'll have to ask her for forgiveness later for that. I'm sure she won't mind too terribly much, but you never know. Unfortunately, my CPU's not here yet, and it won't be here for at least a few days. It's shipping from Taiwan, so I'm not sure how long that's going to take to get here. But I at least want to pop this thing open and take a look inside, see kind of what we're dealing with. Like if there's a lot of dust, or, you know, basically what all do I need to do to bring this thing to a condition where it'll be nice and pleasant to use. Okay, can I just lift up, or is there more to it? There's more to it, okay. But where? Those aren't screws. I don't see any screws along there. Alright. Let me consult the netbook. Hopefully I didn't let the battery go flat. Okay, good. We got some charge. So the netbook is still going to be used out here for sure. My little Asus buddy here is still going to be used for sure, because it's still very useful to have. The eMac I'm not getting rid of or anything. I don't even know if you can see me pointing to it. Nope, you cannot. So yeah, it's off screen that way. But it's not going anywhere. Well, it's leaving the desk, but I'm not getting rid of it. You know, it's more just going to become, you know, one of those vintage PCs I kind of hang on to and use whenever the fancy strikes me. How do I remove the stand we got here? Probably screws hidden under these things, but I don't know if it's necessary to remove those or not. I don't want to remove anything until I know for sure that I have to. Also, the arrangement of ports on the back is interesting. How well can you see that? Not super well, but I'll kind of point them out. There's 4 USBs here. Power, Ethernet, what looks like a blank for a VGA, so like if you wanted to have a second monitor. And there's also a blank for a DisplayPort over here, which I think is really neat. I wasn't expecting to see DisplayPort on this thing. I mean, it's not like... Sorry, motorcycle. But, you know, it's not like PCs didn't have DisplayPort at this time. Yeah, it says Windows 8 on the bottom. So, I mean, it's not that old. It's just somebody's not using it anymore. So, works for me, right? M Think Center. M72Z. So, I've mostly seen these Think Centers at the doctor's office. I don't think I've ever seen... Here we go, disassembly. I don't think I've ever actually like seen one of these in like a private collection. I mean, I may have, but not as far as I know, you know? It's one of those things where it's not a common thing to see. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so loosen the 2 screws. Put your index finger in the slot and lift the cover up. That's it? Really? No. Doesn't quite seem like it. Probably due to the way this was taken apart last time, it doesn't want to come apart. Despite the fact, from what I'm reading, it looks like this is the way it's supposed to. Oh, great. They want me inside. Well, I'm going to try to open this up before I go in. Just because I really want to get a good look in here. And once I go in, there's not going to be any time for that. But hey, shout out to iFlash. Great little opening tool. Oh, I think my SSD's here. I think the Amazon guy just now came. Yep, there's... Yep, see, there's the truck. He's definitely here. Alright, where's this still getting stuck? I don't quite understand. As far as I can tell, this thing is like ready to come off. Okay, maybe I do have to take these off. Maybe that's what the guy before me did wrong. There we go. Seriously though, this iFlash kit, like this little opener tool, it was expensive, but I can't argue it's been one of the most useful tools that I've bought recently. Okay. Those to the side. I'm just gonna take the stand off. I'm going to try not to lose any of the screws in the process. If they're captive screws, then that will be awesome. If they're not, then I'm just going to have to be really careful. Okay. Came out without a hitch. So that's good. What are all these little plastic circles? Are these washers? Are those supposed to go in there? I hope not. I don't know which hole they're supposed to... Okay. Well, either way, are these screws... These screws are not captive. So, I'm definitely going to have to be careful not to lose those. In fact, let me just pop them out real quick. And I'll put them somewhere I know they won't get lost. This is why I keep all these like plastic lids and containers around. Oops. And I dropped one. I got it. We're good. Okay, now... Oops. Now, will it open? Yes, it will. Okay, so maybe that's what the person before me did wrong. They didn't realize that you had to take that cover off. Okay, now it's getting all stuck at the top. Where's the pry tool? Come on. There it goes. Alright. Any broken tabs? No. Surprisingly, not even the one that was like pushed weirdly. It's cracked. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little cracked, but it's still there. So, hey, not bad. Okay, as for the inside, oh, this is a dusty boy. All right, there's the fan. Oh, hey, we can see what's in the CD drive now. Where's the power cable? It's fine, I'm only going to power it on for a second. There's the button. There you are. I'm only going to power it on long enough to open the disk drive, and then I'll turn it back off. Assuming I can find the power button. Ah, there it is. Okay, it's on. Alright, disk drive is ejected, power is off. And I'm going to drain the capacitor so I don't shock myself. Cool. Alright, we should be safe. So let's see what CD or DVD is hiding in here. It's a setup disc. For what exactly? For the Fujitsu Scan Snap. The Fujitsu scanners, man, they're popular. I don't know why. At work we use ones, and each one of those scanners that we use at work costs like $1,100. And every time I hear that, my first reaction is to go, what? And my second reaction is to kind of step back and look at it and be like, okay, it's actually a good scanner, but still, what? $1,100? You guys are out of your mind. $1,100 for a scanner? Like, come on, man. The printer that I picked up off the curb can do that. And it also can print. Alright, here's the hard drive cage. 500 gig Barracuda. Okay. That's not terrible. But, like I said, we're going to be swapping out with an SSD, so that's not staying. Where's the RAM? Oh, I bet it's under this hatch. I want to see if it's laptop size or desktop size. Okay, that confirms that it's laptop size. There's that 4 gigs that we saw earlier. I think I might even have 8 gigs for it right here. Let me see. Nope, that's PC 100. Okay, here's some desktop sticks. Why are those in the laptop drawer? Oh, there's the laptop drawer. Wait a minute. I went to the wrong side. Desktop, laptop, that's right. Okay, so this should be my DDR3 and 4 from the looks of it. Okay, so DDR4. Wait, we don't want DDR4, we want DDR3. Okay, there's a 2 gig, a 1 gig. Here we go, 4 gig. PC3, 1200. Okay, so that's the max that Lenovo says it can handle, is 8 gigs. So if I take them at their word, then I can stick no more memory in here. But I happen to have this 8 gig stick, which runs at the correct speed. So I'm going to try it out and see if it works. And I think this is, yep, this is another one. Another 8 gig stick at that speed. So before I put Humpty Dumpty back together all the way, I'm going to try booting it with just that RAM and see if it works. And if it does, then hey, 16 gigs, alright. Because, I mean, you know, 8's pretty swell, but 16, if you can get 16 gigs, you're sitting pretty. Okay. Now let me, oh here, I'm going to take the hard drive out. I have a cage to put the SSD in upstairs, so we'll take care of that in a minute. I'm going to take that out, move this around. I'm going to put the keyboard dongle back in, because I might need to hit like F5 or something. Okay. And let's see if it turns on. Something happened on the screen there. Error, no operating system found. Okay, so it booted though. So I guess that means it likes the RAM? Let me see. Control Alt Delete and F2. See if it recognizes all 16 gigs of RAM here. Nope, it won't let me into the BIOS. Interesting. Control Alt Delete. Was it F1 maybe? I thought it was F2. Might have been F1. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Okay. And let's go System Summary. Hey, yeah, look, it likes the 16 gigs. Can you see that? Is that visible? Yeah, it is. Look at that, 16 gigs. Cool. Alright. And my SSD is here too, so I can upgrade it real quick. Sorry for a little impromptu. As you can see, I got the caddy and the SSD, and we're going to be replacing the hard drive with that. I have the Windows 10 USB made up, but I have people on the way to come over, so I'm not going to be able to finish this today, but definitely in the near future, this is going to come together, and it's going to replace that, and it's going to be awesome. Alright, welcome back, guys. For you guys, it hasn't really been all that long. In the real world, it's been almost a full week. But we have all the parts now. Got the SSD, got the bracket, and got the CPU. So we can finally start upgrading this boy. Get it all the way up to where it needs to be, which is great. Oh, and of course, the all-important flash drive with Windows 10 on it. So I can reinstall everything when it's all said and done. So really, yeah, the main thing we were waiting on here was just this CPU. And, oh, what am I doing with that? I should use my good knife. And these things take freaking forever. I swear. Like, I thought this one was going to take longer because I thought I ordered it from Taiwan. But it turns out, I think it was a different listing I was thinking of. This one actually came from Tennessee. So, hey, you know, that's better. Certainly a lot shorter of a wait time. Oh, great. Packing peanuts. Well, good thing trash day is tomorrow. And there it is. It's a little pink bag. Woohoo! So I'm going to throw this away, and we'll get into it. Okay, so let's get started. I think the first thing we're going to do is figure out how we get to the CPU. It's just right there. It's so close. So tantalizingly close. There's got to be some sort of easy way to get to it. Okay. Alright, so I think I see the way in. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a 3-step process here. And it's going to start with taking this off. You know, I gotta say, when it comes to these kind of big disassemblies, I always get a little nervous that I'm not going to remember where everything goes. But the nice part about this, in particular, is that I'm filming it. So if at any time I get confused on where I put parts, I can go back and watch the old clips and be like, oh, that's what I did with that. Okay, that doesn't want to budge. Ah, that's why. There's more screws down here. Good thing all these are the same size, or I'd be really out of luck here. Not sure how many of these I need to take out versus how many I will take out. Because I think this also has the power supply in it, where I'm screwing in right now. How well can you see that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the power supply right there. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm going into the 100% correct location. There, okay. So yeah, that was just that metal plate. Good, that's what I wanted. And yeah, check that out. There's our power supply right there. Ooh, it's actually 80 plus bronze certified. Okay. So maybe a brand I've never heard of being Hunt Key, but if it's 80 plus certified, it can't be all bad. So I'm going to be a little optimistic and say it's probably a good power supply. Next, I got to take this shielding off. And I'm pretty sure the only reason I have to do this is because it's covering up part of the area I actually want to get off. Oh, remember how I said this is from a hair salon? You can really tell. There's a lot of loose hairs in here. At least I hope that's what those are from. Alright. Where are you stuck, my friend? Okay. Ah, I see. Oh, that's interesting. So, this whole board right here, with Ethernet, DisplayPort, and these USBs, it connects in through here. It just kind of slots in. Looks like it's just a PCIe 1. No, I'm sorry, that's 4? Is that 4X? It's more than 1, but less than the full 16. I'm going to say it's probably 4. Now, we get the challenge of taking this one off. So make sure there aren't any hidden screws anywhere. Okay. Can I just lift it? Of course not. Gonna have to free this screw here. It's also very fortunate that the LCD was in no way damaged. Because if it was gonna be a whole other nightmare to try and fix that. But hey, look at that. All the metal came off. And now we can really take a look at the guts in here. Alright. So what we got? Okay, this is interesting. The card reader, the little SD card reader, is like a whole little separate daughter board that just rests on top. That's a pretty good idea. I like that, instead of having it built on. I'm not sure what this is. Let me see. Leo chip. Something called the Leo chip. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it's the TPM? Oh, duh, it is. Montego Bay TPM. So, yeah. This is your hardware TPM chip right here. They did have them. They were and still are a thing. You got 2 SATA ports. Here's where your power supply plugs in. And an Intel Centrino wireless in. Hey, I won't be using wireless on this, but that's a decent wireless card. Okay. Got a speaker here. Oh, and I like the caps. None of these they're really leaky kind. Good news for me, means I won't have to replace them. Also, curiously, it looks like they had an extra PCIe X1 slot here that was never populated. Wonder what was intended to go there. And there's the sound hardware down here. Cool. Alright, well, enough of this exploration. Let's get to the good stuff here. I'm upgrading a CPU today. Yes, sirree. Gonna make this one an i5 from an i3. Okay. Fan is off. And actually, there's not nearly as much dust in here as I thought there would be. I mean, yeah, there's obviously some dust there, but I thought it was going to be a lot worse. As for the thermal paste, yeah, it's pretty dry and crusty. Not pleasant. Alright, well, I think before I go any further, I'm going to pick this up, take it off screen, and go spray it out with compressed air. So I'll be right back. Okay, so dusting's completed. It's not as thorough of a job as I could have done, but honestly, it's a lot cleaner looking, and I have a feeling it's going to get a lot dustier over time anyway. So I think the next thing I want to do... Is the whole thing in frame? Good. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is reach over into my kit over here and get out some supplies for cleaning out the CPU and the fan. Like the heatsink, I mean. I call this formerly filled with pancake mix tin tower here my I call it my tower of acetone power. And see, it's just a little Williams-Sonoma thing. It's cute. I really like the design. Makes it easy to store stuff in. We're going to be using some of this. I know some people swear by isopropyl, but this is what I could get my hands on. This is what I got. And until it runs empty, which it's almost there, I'm going to keep using it. And the funny part is, I think the acetone is actually better than the isopropyl alcohol, at least in terms of getting CPU juice off. I think it cuts through that crap like nobody's business. The problem, though, is it eats through plastic, and it's not good for your skin. Which, if you notice, I'm wearing a glove, and that's for a reason. This glove will disintegrate from this. So if it can disintegrate the glove, which is a medical grade glove, imagine what it could do to my hand. But as you can see, with just about zero effort, that is totally cleaned off. Beautiful. Now I can just keep that cotton ball contained in the glove and throw it away. I'll put this other glove over here to put back in later. Oh, great, I got an extra cotton ball too. You know what? Why don't I just stick these back in here the right way? There we go. Well, gotta say, of all the unexpected turns that Goodwill trips have taken, this might be a new highlight. And this is including the time I got Shenmue on Dreamcast for $2. But there it is, the i3 3220. Nice little dual-core CPU. Unfortunately, I won't be using it. At some point in time, I don't know, I might chuck it on eBay or something. See if I can get a few bucks for it. I mean, shoot, if I could get like, you know, $10 for it, then I'll be happy. Or if I know somebody who needs it. Because I always know people who need hardware, let's face it. And here it is, the i5 3570. This is one that's supposed to be completely compatible. Famous last words, right? Make sure... Yep. Fits like a glove. And it's in. Cool. Now, for the part that everybody's going to be screaming at me for. You didn't put the thermal paste on right. You got to do it this way. I always do it this way. You're terrible. Look, everybody's got their own little technique for doing this. This is one I've used to great success. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. I honestly wouldn't expect people to be taking tutorial lessons from me, especially given that this video is not a tutorial. I'm just gonna Give it a few diagonal lines, like so, and then just a small dab across the middle. There we go. And this is Arctic Silver 5. Really good thermal paste. I use it in everything. Except for those rare times when they're sold out. Then I gotta use something else. Alright. Let's put Humpty Dumpty back together, huh? So, nice part about all-in-ones like this is you actually can upgrade the CPUs in them. You can do it with some MacBooks as well. Definitely not with the newer ones. But like, I think a classmate of mine had one from like 2011, 2012, and he was able to put a pretty beefy CPU in it, actually. I was kind of surprised that it took it. He's like, yeah, no, I just stuck it in there and it worked. And instead of buying a new Mac, he just did that. So hey, you know, everything worked out in the end. Now, I gotta try to put this metal shielding back on. I actually half debated leaving this off, simply because it's kind of a pain to put on. But I'm also not sure if maybe it's required for something other than FCC regulations. I kind of doubt it, but I at least need to put the middle piece back in because that's where the stand hooks onto. And you may notice that I don't think the middle piece can go back on. Well, actually, I think it could go on without this piece, but in the interest of trying to keep things as close to factory original as possible, I'm just going to go ahead and put it back in. Which means next, we got to slide this piece. There we go. That actually went back on really easy. I thought that was going to be harder. Huh. Oh, I gotta hand it to you, Lenovo. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was nice and easy. Heck yeah. As long as nothing goes wrong, we should be okay. So let me just... And I'll also mention one other thing. I've wanted to do tech YouTube stuff for a long time. I actually have a couple of other videos that I've started and abandoned due to various circumstances that were tech related. Maybe someday those will get released. Not sure when, but someday I would like to put those out for real and let you guys see them, hopefully with conclusions. One of the projects is actually brushing up against the leg of my tripod here, and I really wish that I could have made it, you know, a bit... You know, I wish I could have finished that one. Oh, crap. I got it. I wish I could have finished that project. I will finish it eventually, don't get me wrong. It's just, finishing it is going to be very tedious. And for those of you who work on electronics, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say the reason it's not done yet is because I have to recap a board. And everyone who's ever had to do that before is now groaning. Thinking, oh god, I don't envy you. And it's good, you shouldn't. And that screw fell. Okay, where's my screw picker? Come here, you. Such a handy little thing. It's not magnetic, but, you know, it's pretty good. Not me panicking because I thought I dropped the screw again. Shoot. Okay. Alright, this screw is proving to be very uncooperative. Which is surprising because it was super cooperative coming out. Normally they don't want to come out but go back in pretty easy. I'm not sure what's going on there. Come on. Come on, screw. There we go. But yeah, seriously, like, the build quality of this is honestly a lot better than I expected. I mean, I guess I should have known it is Lenovo. And I like ThinkPads a lot. I know some people are kind of down on them, but I like a good ThinkPad. I think they rock. Oops. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, the IBM built ones were better. And as true as that is, from what I can tell, the quality dip... Drop the screw again. As far as I can tell, the quality dip from IBM to Lenovo was pretty minimal, actually. So, if the quality did decrease, which I'm not saying it didn't, but if it did, then honestly, we're kind of lucky that it didn't degrade further than it could have. Okay, can we get the RAM board covered up again? No? No? Is this going the other way before? Oh, I think the metal's just bent. There we go. Yep, it was just bent metal. Okay, now for the next challenge. I gotta try to use this thing with this, which we'll see how successful that is. And yeah, I know, this isn't like a super great SSD or anything. It's just a very basic silicon power one, which I imagine there's going to be a lot of people going, oh, that one's terrible. It's going to die, like, super quick. Why would you use such a terrible, terrible SSD? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Throws hard drive cage. No. Here's the thing. This is a garage PC. I don't need the SSD to be like, you know, ridiculously fast or anything. I pretty much just want it to be faster than the mechanical drive will be. And as long as I can accomplish that, I'm happy. I don't take all that much to please. I mean, heck, I've been running an eMac and have been pretty happy with it. I wouldn't have even been doing this upgrade if it wasn't for the fact I got the PC for 15 bucks. Like, this is not something I would have seeked out on my own to acquire and then make. You know? And unlike a lot of more gaming-centric, which is, I think is kind of ironic because I do a lot of Let's Plays and stuff, but a lot of the more gaming-centric tech channels would probably look down on me for using something this old. Doesn't have 4 gigabytes of dedicated VRAM? Oh, well then it's completely worthless. And there's our Barracuda. At some point I'll go through here and see if there's anything interesting on here, and I'll report back if there is. I kind of doubt it. I think it's mostly just going to be like customer names. And for those of you wondering, don't worry, I'll wipe it. I'll wipe it with Kill Disk after I'm done playing with it. But what's the fun in picking up a secondhand hard disk if you can't poke around the files, right? Well, okay. Now I gotta figure out... So this goes like this. And the SSD slides in here. Oh, I see. So yeah, there's like these 4 little screws up here. I gotta get at least a couple of screws to hold that in place. That shouldn't be too hard. Assuming I can find my screwdriver, I think that should be okay. Unfortunately, my area is a bit of a wreck. I think I explained this already, but people really like to just throw junk in my area. Because, hey, look, a big open part of floor space. That means we can throw shit in it, right? No, you silly fools. I need this room to walk. You silly, silly fools. Some people walk in here. Oh. The nerve of me wanting room to walk in the garage. Alright. I know my screwdriver's around here somewhere. one just got shoved somewhere back here. And yes, this is something I'm working on. I've kind of already done some of the reorganization I wanted, but then reintroducing the eMac took some time and didn't quite turn out the way I hoped it would, and yeah, unfortunate. But where... Okay, so I found some screws I can use. That's good. Oh, wait a minute. Are they under here? Nope, but I found another screw. An old iPod cable. Huh. Okay. Yeah, this is seriously weirding me out, because I know I had like the perfect screwdriver. I have like this long green screwdriver I use out here. I have no idea where it went. I have a feeling it's another victim of somebody borrowing it without asking. And that happens all too often. Can I just use this one? Yeah, looks like I can't. Nope. I don't think so. Oh, okay, well that at least straightened it out. Take it out of that bracket. And that bracket is literally for a laptop that I don't think anybody's ever going to care about again. For some reference, the laptop in particular has no screen, runs a Core Duo, not even a Core 2 Duo, just a simple Core Duo. And you can't... There's just not much you can do with it, really. Like, I thought about making it like a small, power-efficient Windows XP desktop or something, but honestly, with the fact that it has just integrated graphics, I didn't really think it was worth my time to pursue that angle. On a different note, though, I'm super happy this screwdriver fits. I was a little worried about that. But hey, the fact that it actually fits in there okay means I can use this adapter. Hey, look at that. Only 2 screws, but, you know, as long as it holds it in securely, and yeah, I'd say that's not going anywhere. Cool. Now we get to put the adapter into this drive cage. Try and get those screws lined up. That's going to be the interesting part. Whoa, okay, hold on a minute. That's... what? Huh? Okay, hold on a minute. So, where is it expecting the support to be? Right there? Okay, this is really weird. Okay. So, basically, I think I'm only going to be able to use 2 of these screws to hold it in place. Which is not a problem I anticipated running into. Even worse, I can't seem to get the screw to go in. It's just sort of spinning there. Maybe I'll try the other side first, because I can actually see through to the hole on this side. Is it going in? I don't think that's quite lined up. Here, I'm going to have to pull this out of camera line for a minute, so I can get some light. Ah, okay, I see. There we go. Okay. So that explains why it wasn't going in on this side. It wasn't bloody lined up properly. Huh? Oh, okay. there we go. That should be going in. Huh? What? I mean, you'd think getting one in would make the other one easier. But sadly, it's just not happening. Really? Yeah, that's... It's like it's starting to go in, but it's like it's going in crooked. Okay, so I got it to go in. It's not as far in as this side, but I think it should work, especially since its whole spiel was to just kind of keep it in there without it moving. You know, I think I can not take those grommets out. Okay, I thought maybe I could. But I think I can at least get another support screw in here. And some of these rear holes. It's a nice thing this drive cage is like holy, as in it has a lot of holes. It means I can just, yeah, there we go. Stick a screw in, give it a few tightens, and when it's done, sure, it won't be as elegant as the front ones, but it does at least stop it from moving. And being able to put all the screws back in is certainly good. Like those people who are like, oh, look at all these extra screws that came in my IKEA kit. Well, sometimes they do give you extra, and that's fine. But the times when they don't and you have extra, and that's something I'm guilty of too. Like, don't you worry. I'm calling myself out here too for doing that. I think everybody's done that at least once. Alright, so it's a little jumpy, but I don't think there's all that much I can do. You know, given the fact that these screws in the back are already as tapped in as they can go. Yeah, it's not like, you know, it's not like it's not like this is going to be adjusted all that often. So I think it's probably fine the way it is. What's less fine is that this isn't quite reaching the way I hoped it would. Okay. So this could be an issue. An issue I completely did not foresee. And that's the fact that the SSD is a little too far over to the side. And this is just not making... Also, I can kind of quite... There we go. Gotten that one. Yeah. Can you see that? Are you able to see that? No, it's a little off screen. Let me fix that. So yeah, see, I'm trying to get this connector right here, but it's off by about the width of my finger. And I can't quite compensate for it. I can't get it to move any further over. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to have to come up with a second plan, because that's not working the way I hoped it would. So, alright, let's think about this for a minute. The drive needs to shift so it's on this side. So it's like more biased this way. How am I going to do that in here? Oh. Okay. I think I actually see a really easy answer to that question. So first, gotta take the little SSD adapter out. I was really hoping I could make use of this thing. I've had this SSD adapter for a while now. A couple months. I was actually planning on using it in the eMac over here originally. Various things happened, that plan didn't quite work out. So this went on a shelf until I could figure out what to do with it. Then this came along and I was like, oh hey, I have that SSD adapter, why don't I just reuse that so I can still use the drive cage and everybody's happy. Seemed like a good idea. Until, well, this happened. But do you see on the top of the cage how it has these screws holes? So, they don't... I'm going to have to see if this is going to work the way I think it is. Because I'm starting to doubt my plan the more I'm looking at this. It's seeming less and less likely. But hey, we don't know until we try. Also, I think I can readjust you now. Yeah. There we go. So you get more of a direct look. Hang on a second. There we go. Just so you get a little more of a direct look at the PC rather than the floor in this old CRT over here. Okay. Got the screw out. Unfortunately, I can't use that, so if it needs to be... No, that's not going to work, because that puts it at almost the same place. Maybe I'll just do this freehand. Can you see that? Okay, good. So one of my coworkers, when he installs SSDs into machines, he usually doesn't screw them in. And we all think he's super weird for it. But at the same time, he's kind of got a point. Like, you don't really need to hold it in because, you know, there's no moving parts. But it just feels wrong to not, you know, hold it in. But I guess that's just how I'm going to have to do this one, because I don't see any other way to make this happen. At least not a way that will work with this drive cage anyway. If I want to be able to keep the original drive cage in here, it's just going to have to float. Which I'm okay with, because A, it's my PC. It's not like I'm doing this for somebody who's going to open it up and see that I've taken this kind of cheater's way. And two, I don't really think it matters all that much. It's more just kind of an aesthetic thing, you know? So, Alright, and I think I put all the screws up here. Ah, these were the screws to hold on the stand. Okay. Gotta think, where did I put the other screw? Probably in here, right? Not those. Is it this one, maybe? Definitely not that. I remember taking out any Torx bits. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and reference some footage real quick, because I don't know where I put that screw. I'll be back. Okay, footage has been referenced. I found the screw. I put it over by the netbook. It's been a few days since I did this, and I had work today, so, you know. My brain is kind of in coast mode right now. It's not really open to a lot of new work, I guess, would be the right way to put it. And now we can put the back on. This nice big chunky plastic back. Okay, let me attempt to get this lined up here. Because this is okay. Cool. I'd like to get this all back together. Okay, cool. So, no stuck tabs, which is nice. I'm already doing a better job than the last guy who took this apart. Now let's go ahead and get these two screws screwed back in. So I get the bottom taken care of. Yep, okay, I felt that go. There's that satisfying clip. And now for this side. Alright, get in there. Get in there. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. Cool. Hey, alright. That actually went really well. I'm relatively pleased with that. Now for the hard part. Putting the stand back on. This is definitely going to be one I'm going to have to stand back for. Because this thing is rather large. Alright. And I'm going to have to also try and hold it in place until I get some of these screws screwed in. Like, you know, duh, of course that's what you're going to have to do. Hey, that even went into... Okay, I like Lenovo's approach to these kind of screw covers better than freaking Dell's. They're always like either that really weak rubber that just breaks instantly and never goes back on properly, or it's plastic. And the plastic ones are the worst. They just immediately shatter. There's no hope of using those. None. Like, if you got the plastic there, I'm sorry, you're screwed. There's no other way to put it. Okay. And last one goes over here. And just like that, Humpty Dumpty is back together again. And wouldn't you know? Yeah. Ugh. Let's lift her up. Yeah. Alright. Cool. That turned out pretty well. Not sure how well you guys can see that. Do I have to kind of... Yep. Okay, so yep, there it is. So the next step is going to be for me to go under the desk and disconnect the eMac from everything. So, back in a sec. Okay. Alright, so as you can see, the eMac has been moved. I've replaced it with this just regular black cord. Power has to like snake under this desk all the way to the one outlet that's on this wall. It's very annoying. I don't like this setup much. But unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do without hiring an electrician, which I'm not prepared to shell out the money for right now. But as you can see, I already have the dongle here for the USB. I'm going to go ahead and plug in another cable that I'm going to be using frequently, which is this iPod cable. May as well have that in the back, since, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot of iPod fixes. And anything else I need back here? Probably USB-C cable. Alright. I have one over here, but it's like stuck on something. Okay, I have freed it. There, USB-C cable. Like I said, super convenient, super easy. Just have it there. Okay, now, the other things we need are Ethernets, which I'm just gonna pop in, and then power, which I'm actually going to move in front to plug that in. So bear with me for a minute, because getting to it is, yeah, see, that's kind of a tight fit over here. But as soon as we bring it in closer, check that out. Power works. Okay. Oh no, it's getting stuck. Oh no, it's turning on. What are you doing? Stop. Stop. Okay. Woo. What's going on? No, don't start booting yet. It's not time yet. Oh, you're jumping the gun a little there. I haven't even plugged in the installer USB yet, which I foolishly took out of my pocket and put down somewhere. And now I have to find... Oh, there it is. Found it. See, that was easy. Now I gotta figure out where the side USBs... Oh, they're on the... of course. They're on this side. Alright. Note to self, put a USB extender on this. I think I have one. I just need to, you know, put it on here. Okay. I think I got that in. Unless that's not the USB port. Nope, it is a USB port. Okay. We are golden. Okay. Cool. So, let's go ahead and put the keyboard and mouse and get ready to install Windows. Now, I'm sure you guys have all seen a Windows setup before, so I'm not going to bore you with all the details. And yes, I do notice the sticker residue on the screen. Don't worry. I'm aware that's there. I will be cleaning it eventually. Not right now, but eventually. I promise. I very much promise that I will eventually, emphasis on eventually, fix that. But for now anyway, my interest lies in getting Windows set up on here so I can start using it. After all, what good is a PC that you can't use, right? Okay.
So did it end up being a touchscreen?
Nope, it is not a touchscreen. Everybody, Henry is right behind me.
Hi, everybody!
You can't see him, but you sure can hear him.
Maybe. Don't care. Risk kind of suck with volume.
Well, hopefully you can hear him anyway. Okay, there we go. And we're going to let it install. I'm going to do a little time lapse here. Okay, so there's a little bit of frustration there because I didn't change the BIOS so it wouldn't boot from the flash drive automatically. I'm going to have to look at what the BIOS key is for that later. So I do not remember, but you'll also notice I have the Ethernet unplugged, and that's because I want to make an offline account. And if I'm connected to the internet, it's going to try to make me make an internet account. Which, for my garage PC, I don't care. I do not want... I neither want nor need to have an online account for it. Seriously, I have to make security questions? Alright, fine. I'll skip to when this is done. Okay, so that's done. Now we have stupid... I don't care about that. No. No. Okay, much better. Hi, we're getting everything ready for you. Well, I hope so. But hey, as soon as it boots in, we'll be able to take a look and make sure everything installed correctly. I'm hoping this is going to have all the drivers. I can tell already it doesn't have the Wi-Fi driver, which, you know, whatever. I don't really care that much. Everything else, though, I'm pretty confident it's going to have it. So, hey, we should be good. And, you know, there's definitely some dirt spot. Like, ugh, look at that. It's horrible. It's like sticky. Ugh. And then there's all this sticker residue up here, which, yes, I will be cleaning eventually, but I have to figure out how I'm going to do it gently because this is an LCD, and I don't want to crack it on accident or something. And this i3 badge is inaccurate. Let me see if I have one that's accurate to what's in here. I actually have a small box of these little labels on what's inside. So see, I have Windows 10 here, Pentium 3 here, and over here I have about 1,000 Xeon ones, and some i7s and another i3. Okay. So I'll need to order an i5 badge. Not a big deal. They have tons of them. If you're wondering where I get those, eBay. They cost pretty much nothing. I think I got all those Xeon ones for like $5. So, okay, so it doesn't have the screen driver either. Time looks like it's probably pretty accurate. Let me see how everything else fared. Yep, you can see 16 gigs of RAM. Okay, it's recognizing the i5 correctly. I didn't think the i5 was going to be a problem, but you never know. Yep, just a true quad core, nothing special or fancy, no hyper-threading or anything. But hey, that's fine. Device manager, PCI controller, not sure. USB 2, that's probably the SD card. That could be anything. Oh, but look at that, the TPM chip is in place. Oh, hey, that's the right version to... Am I right? I think that's the right version to get Windows 11 if we want. I don't really want Windows 11, so I'm not going to be worrying about that too much. Oh, okay, no, it does see the wireless. Interesting. Why didn't it ask me to connect? Okay. That's fine. I didn't really want to connect, so... Now I gotta give it a name. And I give all my PCs very specific names. The naming scheme is I name all the PCs after towns and Pokemon. So I gotta think, based on this location, what is this one gonna be called? Since it's kind of in the garage, kind of like the last stop port. I'm already using Slate port, so I can't use that. Wait a minute, no, Slate port was the old server out here. Ah, this one can just cannibalize that name. Cool. Slate port. Perfect. I don't like, you know, having a default name on my PCs. I don't know why. Just don't like it. Would rather not. Also, while it was installing, I found a USB extension. Hooray! So, I can just find where the other USBs are. Here they are. And find the empty slot, which I think I just did. Right? There it goes. Ah, and voila! USB extension. Perfect. Just kind of rope it around this way, and now I can plug things in through that instead of, you know, the way I was doing it. The only thing I'm kind of... Oh, no, okay. I got myself enough clearance there. Wasn't sure if the toolbox was going to... it still might if people aren't careful, but I doubt it's really going to be open more than this. So, I feel okay with it. Alright, let's just go ahead and log in real quick. Alright. Oh, it's not happy about something. Oh no, this copy of Windows is not genuine. What makes you say that, Windows? Hardware generation process. Interesting. Wonder why it said that. Thought I just used a blank image I had. Well, that's really all I have to show you for now. I'll cut back in later when I have more software installed. Maybe I can do something about that non-genuine error. I think I might have a way to fix that, so look forward to that. Okay, so little update now. Just finished installing my version of Photoshop Elements. No, we're going to restart after all the updates are done. And as you can see, it is updating fine. And check it out, it picked up some of the drivers. So, if you look here, it's got Bluetooth now. I love Bluetooth, super handy. I'm copying my other installers off so I can actually install some stuff. Oh yeah, if we look here, we can see, hey, check it out, the TPM authenticated. I think it just wasn't happy when I first finished installing because I wasn't connected to the network. I don't know, really weird, because I haven't restarted or anything since where you guys saw. I just kind of installed a couple things and let Windows Update go. So I don't know what was going on with that. I've never gotten that message before. Of course, this is a new flash drive, so I don't know, maybe it's... I don't know. Maybe it's just the image somebody gave me. Because I did just grab the one on my external from who knows how long ago. I think it's actually running 1903. Let's see. I'm actually not sure. And, yep, sure enough, 1903. So that's... yeah, that's probably why, if I had to guess. It's probably a cracked version somebody gave me at some point. I didn't realize it. I just threw it on here, and then it popped up with that. But because this already had Windows 7 Enterprise license like baked onto the TPM, I think it applies for Windows 10, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, cool. Just wanted to give you guys that little bit of an update. There's going to be another update when it's all said and done. But hey, for now, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Okay, so one more update here. I've got Specky running, so yeah, you can see the CPU's doing fine. The RAM's doing fine. Motherboard's a little toasty, but I kind of expect that out of an all-in-one, honestly. And yeah, looks like it discovered the HD graphics okay, so not a big deal there. And over here, check that out. We're just going right on down the list of things I like to have installed on my PCs for various reasons. I don't normally put iTunes on my PCs, but because I'm going to be working on iPods, I figure plus, I like to have music in the garage. I'll probably use like Groove or something. I know, built-in Microsoft thing to play the music, and just use iTunes for like iPod restores and whatnot, but hey, you never know. Could be useful to have. So, yeah, I'll report back again once all the updates and everything are done. Okay, last update for tonight, because as you can see, it's starting to get pretty late. It's not actually 9:30, it's actually 8:30, so I gotta fix that. But, yeah, all it's doing is installing updates at this point. I've got 90% of my programs installed. I'll have to get Pinnacle set up later. I don't feel like doing that right now. And that's literally just a convenience thing for me, so I can do some editing out here too, instead of having all of it take place in my bedroom or on the laptop. So, hey, you know, I might even be able to use the NAS as a scratch drive, which would be awesome. So, I'm about ready to call this one done for now. Maybe I'll make an update after all the updates are done and I have Pinnacle and I'm like in the middle of editing or something, but hey, we'll see what happens, right? Either way, see you guys later. Have a good one. This is a 100% good project. Okay, so I hate to say it, but my camera crashed after I put the i5 sticker on, so I think I lost that footage. You can see I also put some Goo Gone up here to get rid of that. So, yeah, this is pretty much done, I would say. Once I get that Goo Gone and the sticker residue off, we should be good. So thank you guys for tuning in on this. Be sure to come back because I have more ideas in the future. But one thing I will say is I did check the hard drive for this. There was a ton of personal information. And no, I will not release it. It was stuff like people's resumes, job applications, assignments they did for beauty school. You know, stuff nobody needs to see. So I'm going to be wiping that hard drive. But before I do that, I'm going to back up the recovery partition, because there is a recovery partition on there. I'm going to back that up, and I'm going to put it on the Internet Archive. So if any of you guys run into one of these, I know, fat chance. But if you do, and you happen to need that recovery partition because you want to rock Windows 7 or 8 or whatever it came with, then by all means, use that partition. It'll be backed up using Macrium Reflect. I'll put a link to it in the description, so look out for that, and check out for future videos. Alright, thanks guys. See you later.